Hi there, beloveds. It's Kalita. I'm the creator of Showgirl Awakening. And today gosh, this has been bubbling up for a while and I'm hearing more and more, and this is exciting to me. I'm hearing more and more people talk about some version of this, um, using slightly different language to what I'll use right here, but we're talking about the same thing. Um, I'm the topic. What is this buzzing thing? There's something buzzing around my face. Um, hmm. So I'm talking here to nice people, and I'm including myself in this family of nice. Yes. And I want to juxtapose nice with kind. And I should define them because they may not have the same meaning for you. And I want you to know what I'm meaning with these words. By nice, I'm referring to, oh, it makes me a little, my heart and my throat squeeze up a little. When I'm being nice, I am very often um, ignoring um, my own needs. And I'm just going to put it this way, it's a trauma response. Yes, it's a trauma response. I will unpack the word trauma a little later in this share. It's going to up and say it. So here's where it's tricky. And I definitely relate to this, that I know that I'm here on earth to, um, there's no way to not put this in a polarity. I wish there were. I'm here to do good. I know that. I've signed up for it. I'm here for it. And that's true. Yeah. What's also true is the way that I try to do good sometimes is mixed in with a trauma response, which causes me to overgive, overmanage, over edit, all of these very uncomfortable overs. Yes. And I notice this I attract a lot of people, a lot of women to work with me who experience this same thing of they have a lot to give. They have um, gifts that they're really keen on sharing. And so far, they've experienced a lot of burnout. Yeah. And a lot of what it is it's this trauma response mixed in with the doing of the good, which ends up not working for any party. Ends up not working for the one who's trying to do the good. It ends up not working for the receiver of the good, because there's just trauma tangle wangles. So how to be clear. And I've heard very recently, just like even over the last week, I've heard people talking about specifically like people pleasing, and that's the term that they're focusing on. And I would put that the people pleasing and the over editing and the over managing and the over giving, that's all there. I've also heard it spoken of in there's a term that's newer in fight, flight, freeze. A lot of us are familiar with those three terms, those the trauma responses of either going into fight, flight, or freeze. Fawn is a newer one, and the fawn is the trying to, appease, appease the person. That's fawning. That's all goes into that same bubble of people please, fawn, and it is a trauma response. Um, Here, I need to unpack this word trauma, which happily, this word trauma is more and more and more a household word. Not that it's always understood yet. The the definitions of like, well, what is trauma? This why I'm so happy. over the last couple of weeks, Gabor Mate um, has shared a film, that a documentary that was created called "The Wisdom of Trauma." I wish I could send you to it right now, but um, it's closed for the moment, and I'm sure that they'll be sharing it again. But it was available just over the last couple of weeks for viewing online, and that movie shares a lot about trauma. Is not so much the thing that happens to us that was painful. It's not so much that it was the rape or the parent leaving. I'm just picking random things here. It's it's the sense that our bodies and minds and hearts make out of the thing that happened to us. And it's very, very much impacted by what kind of accompaniment that we receive after the traumatic event. We'll also make a side note: trauma, the trauma event is not always a singular event. I talk about boom boom trauma versus drip drip trauma in my book, How to Create a Burlesque Solo from the Inside Out. And I speak of it often whenever trauma comes up, that there is boom boom trauma, which is really clear, something that happens on a day with a time and we can trace it. Life was one way, and then boom, my house burnt down, and then life is different. Or life was one way, and then I was assaulted, and then life was different. That's boom boom trauma. There is also drip drip trauma, which is more insidious and it's harder to see. It's the forest in which we live. Drip drip trauma is when every second of every day it's just not safe to be us. Drip drip trauma, um, these things are so big, how to speak of them. Drip drip trauma is developmental trauma. Um, it's akin it's akin to a variety of complex PTSD, which in my viewing of, most humans have some degree of complex PTSD, some degree. It might be very little, but I see us just all on a spectrum, frankly. I really do. And the more securely attached have far less, and the less securely attached have more. But the way that all the traumas, the way that they get digested and healed is through accompaniment and resonance. It's through being seen without judgment, without resistance, being seen for how much sense we make. Oh my God.